Okay, okay. Let me emphasize. Here's the issue. What we're having right now, the communication issue we're having right now.
Mm-hmm.
You and Danny are one of the few women.
No, I am saying just like
listen.
If you're gonna
Let me
bash
finish.
some
Let
other
me
women, then you
finish.
have to bash the guys in. Don't say that. No,
let me finish.
No,
let me finish.
Let me say you're bashing some women, and I get that. But don't say only women. There are guys out there, but what this?
Can I make my point?
Go.
I'm not saying that there's not guys out there that are not.
We didn't deny that at all.
They
No, but
are
you're not
what
mentioning it. You're
Let me
mentioning
finish my point.
Okay.
The connotation of opening an OnlyFans page. Is it good thing to open an OnlyFans page? Yes or no?
You are not
Yes.
discussing that.
Oh my god. You know what? Let's do that.
No.
Why?
No,
No.
trust me. Trust me. This topic is
We don't-
something that
We moved
We
from
don't
presidency
know.
to OnlyFans.
trust me, you have two guys on the trust me, you don't need any more than that. You have two niggas on the line.
We don't want to talk about no OnlyFans.
Okay.
Like-
first of all,
Jesus. Danny.
Yeah?
What if I check with cell phones at this?
you're needed because you need to be the rational females in this situation.
We don't want to talk about no OnlyFans.
I'm not even talking about it as as enjoyment. I'm saying as a business. There is a niche.
As a model.
There is a niche. Need for reviewers of
Calm
adult.
yourself down.
There is a need for reviewers of
Am I the
adult toys.
person?
No, it's not even
For
that.
adult toys, so they can review the toys. Like just like how person review products on YouTube, on OnlyFans you can review adult toys. There is a niche for it, and I believe you can
There's another aspect of the business where you have women who they don't even worry about toys. They just do like nude photos and nude video clippings. Think of them like cam girls. They're basically that, but they're more of they're the escalated version of what you'd call a street prostitute and that of an escort.
I don't even know what a camera is.
That's what I'm saying. That's why okay. Think about it this way. What a cam girl does is basically
where you going? Honey,
she gone?
Chacha escape.
But yeah, I'm too.
No, it's important to the reason why I think this is kinda important is that
Because y'all pervs. That's
I don't know. No. Hold on.
Let the man
important
finish.
because it goes into the mentality of men and women. Because women are doing this to get money from men. I'm talking about niggas who are sending thousands of dollars.
So wait, OnlyFans is for women alone. Men not put themselves up on it too.
Not to my knowledge. But
Not
most
to
of the
my
people who are
knowledge.
making money on the platform are female. And they're making, when I say $1,000, there's this one thing with, and you're supposed to know this. Hold on.
Make sure you look up.
Are we
The
recording?
Yes. The highest earn upon OnlyFans makes $1 million a day.
And you
I
check
kid
that
you
out?
not. Of course, I check it out. And I kid you not.
The worst joke about that is that there's an OnlyFans, and you should know about this too, Dan, because it was mentioned one time on, I don't think it was Abba and Preach, I think it was another YouTube channel, where basically a girl literally shipped, I'm not kidding, she shipped bottles of her bath water.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
I could have sworn you just said shit.
We never hear it, so you know.
Well, she's in the bath water, I don't know what she's putting in there, but she literally ships that, sells it. I'm like, which nigga is gonna part with this money to not touch a woman? Like, and that's the joke about OnlyFans. These guys are forking out thousands of dollars, and all they're getting is just visual gratification.
So when you take your money and buy a picture now, don't you share it online?
It doesn't matter. Somebody's still gonna buy it. Hell, you could probably auction it if you want to.
Somebody that really spend money on a picture where them can download for free online.
Well, I
this is
mean,
what
You
I'm
can't
saying.
download it for free. There's a platform. You have to pay to get it.
To view.
No, I mean if somebody who paid to get it put it online for
no,
free.
they can't
No.
put it
Just like when
online.
you post a regular picture on Facebook.
They
and
can't
you
put it
like
online.
It'll be a copyright strike just like any other.
Yeah, it's like imagine a painting.
thing.
You can buy the painting, send copies of the painting, but you get in trouble for
You
it.
can look at the painting, but you can't bring That's the problem. And again, it's a fascinating mentality because there are men parting with their money and there are women who are manipulated. No, I shouldn't say manipulated.
Say manipulated. Oh, sorry, I'm not getting.
No, I don't think manipulated is the proper word because
Don't you dare put females in the club that there. Oh, you can't.
no, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. Women are like, let's take a picture. Boom. As Leah said, $1 million. I'm like, wow.
They get the sale though.
I mean,
They got
If-
the sale. There's a market for it.
if the niggas are willing to spend their money on it, why shouldn't the females do it? I mean,
The double standard.
like, I mean, no.
Who says a double
No,
standard? Why males don't go?
I'm seeing it.
I'm pretty sure males can go on it too.
No,
Hold on.
who
Just
buys
that
from
one.
it?
Hold on.
When you
Good
look-
question.
hold on, look at our
Nice.
society.
That's a
Look
question
at
to
our
be
society,
asking.
how we inveigle money and male and female. When it's a man and woman going out, it's expected by the male to be the one to be the monetary means by which you enjoy yourself for that night or that evening. The guy pays for the ticket, the guy pays for the food, he pays for the transportation and or provides it himself by driving or whatever. It's the onus is on the man to make sure that every expense is taken care of. That's how society has structured that. It's not patriarchy, it's just literally how it's because it's not even that the man thinks he should do this. For example, if a woman says she wants to go to a restaurant and she convinces the guy like, let's go to the restaurant, like, alright, no problem. The bill comes up. She looks at the bill, looks at the guy, and she's just there waiting. He's like, you want to come here, you don't want to pay for the bill? He's like, no, you're supposed to pay for it. That's the mentality. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Explain.
I believe in paying for yourself.
Exactly.
I'm paying for myself? I don't understand that.
No, I mean, if you go on a date with a girl, girl pays for her food, guy pays for his food.
Yeah.
We have instances where girls just expect to be.
Oh,
Because
they're not
there's a
talking about
restaurant
us,
out here.
Danny. They're talking about different type of females.
Alright,
Right.
Miguel.
I'm not talking about.
The issue is you're talking with two females that will very much pay for themselves and pay for the guy if they ask the guy out. So that is why we're getting such feedback. Let me as a person that been on several dates advise you.
You want to use the correct term?
Okay, you step in. I'm out.
Now, really and truly, and it's not majority of the females that we have seen in society, they do expect the man to pay for everything. Truth be told, if a male and a female, if a man and a woman living together in the same house, and the guy loses his job, the woman gonna look upon him a certain way. She not gonna leave him same time, but just know say the clock start count.
Oh God, the hourglass has started to spin.
Exactly, and it's really sad because 90% of relationship, if the guy doesn't have money, the female doesn't see a reason to date that guy.
Oh my.
And it's the
I mean,
honest truth.
Before you continue, I have to mention this. It's the same way how women would mention that they would not date a guy who doesn't drive, even when they themselves don't drive.
Mm-hmm.
And they look at the man who walk like them.
Hold on.
No, I'm just making a point. I'm not attacking you. It's just very contradictory. They have a case where a woman cannot drive, usually doesn't want to date a guy who also does not know how to drive. Because in her eyes, the guy should be making the money, he should be driving, he should be doing all these things. If he lacks any of these things, he's seen less of a man.
Mm-hmm.
Sad to say, that's just how it is. Worse if it's education-wise, because we mentioned this in our last episode about Chinese women and why it's so hard to find a man.
the education sting.
Right. Because you will not have a woman who has a bachelor's or associate degree who's going to date a guy with just a 6 subjects.
No,
That is very rare.
she
I'm not saying
might,
it won't happen.
but she will be judged for it.
No. She'll belittle you for it.
Hold on.
Right there.
Hold on. Danny. No.
But he's before.
No, man, tell Danny for jumping at this because I realize so the female them I get bash and we can't talk about it.
No,
Finish your
we're
point.
not talking about you.
Well, no, I'm just saying that you're looking at some females, which I get. But come
Yeah,
on,
that's
you
what
know,
we're
say
doing.
someone are dirty too.
The dirty hoe. Explain the dirtiness.
No, you're gonna say that females not going to look down on you guys because you don't sexy and so on and blah blah blah. We just want we want to be secure. That's one of the most things that females feel comfortable about.
And a guy with 560 and you have
Hold
a
on,
degree
I'm
can be
not
secure.
saying if he's working that is fine. Because you can still be a skilled worker and work more money than any office job. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have some man them and you know the truth for a crop and then them yard and live off of the woman them
Okay,
money.
okay. Let me emphasize. Here's the issue. What we're having right now, the communication issue we're having right now. You and Danny are one of the few
No,
women.
I am saying just like
listen,
If you're gonna
let me
bash
finish,
some of
let
the
me
women, then
finish.
you have to bash the guys in. Don't
No,
say that. No,
let me finish,
No,
let me finish.
Let me say you're bashing some women, and I get that. But don't say only women. There are guys out there, but what this?
Can I make that point?
Go.
I'm not saying that there's not guys out there that are not.
We didn't deny that at all.
They
No, but
are
you're not
what
mentioning it. You're
Let me
mentioning females.
finish my point. There are a lot of worthless men
Then it's
out
still
there.
on?
There are a lot of waste men out there that deserve a proper beating.
More than that, probably.
We're not denying that.
But y'all
Right?
ain't talking about it.
We never
Well-
did deny that.
But what we're seeing is that society and culture have this thing that dictates that if a man is not financially secure, if a guy is not more educated, more financially secure, sometimes physically bigger and stronger than you, is not worth your time. And that's something that we really need to look into. Right? Like, we're not telling no woman to take up no crop. If you see a crop, run. Run far from him. That's fine.
Run for the hills.
It's better to be single than take up a waste man in your life, because them gonna bring nothing but destruction and crosses. But there's a lot of good guys out there, and a lot of females are looking over because they don't meet the criteria of the guy that should have everything out there.
Thank you very much.
And that hurts a lot of us.
That's all we're saying.
You guys can make your point now.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna sit down and listen now.
Oh, you sure about that? Danny,
Yes?
you want to go first?
No, you go first.
Me go first. Alright, so y'all, we're talking about the woman them overlooking. Where you start? Where your face makeup, sir? Let me see your face makeup. But anyway, overlooking the men. But let's be. Listen, time's hard and you can't blame. Like you're saying, you're not going to blame the female then. Fine. But truth be told, you work your ass off. Go school, get your subject, then reach somewhere in your life. For you to take up not just saying, there's ladies that take up guys.
No. Finish your point.
No.
Finish your point.
I'm finishing my point. You see, there are ladies that take up guys that, what you just say, probably not as educated. Fine. And then work with those guys and then build them up. And you know what? The guy then get them bone. Or the guy do some sort of bull something there. So, not saying that the rich guys are not going to get problem as well too. The guys them are educated and the guys them are in a good profession. But some of them not settle. A good amount of Jamaican men them not settle. They want how much girl or them spend how much money. No. Like you say, your guys are Leo and Mikkel. You guys are talk about them properly. I would say again, we can't really use you two for compare, but you have guys out there that just now do not with them life. Them just say, all right, this is it. Me hustle, and that's it. And though I respect the hustling profession, because we all have to hustle for a thing, but at some point you have to realize the money can't stretch, and you need a little help. And then if you tell the man do this or do that, you start get in him feelings and him ego start beat and feel away because you look down upon him because he do this and that and blah blah blah. Sometimes I just a female just voicing her opinion, say, alright, we are going through one rough patch right now. Can you try this or do this, and then I'm opening the feelings and say blah 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 and this and that and this and that. You understand me I say, Danny? Yeah. So it's not that we're looking down, but we're looking for a little assistance.
Don't speak for yourself.
All right. So I'm speaking for myself. 'Cause I'm not gonna go bashing. I understand you're bashing some females, and there's truth. There are some females out there who just expect the man to pay for everything, and then give them little something in return. There are females that stay so. And truth be told, then if you broke out of that mentality, they can then just jump from man to man for money, and that never help them out. Then if you go sort out themselves. And you have the educated female, them, man, no. Anytime I think about educated female, me just a tip of myself.
And men that are listening, men that are listening.
Mm-hmm. Danny said something. She has something to say.
I would tell her that.
You guys decided who will go first, so I'm making everybody speak before I retort. And you have something to say too.
Yeah, my point was coming from kind of only funds in terms of finding a career for yourself. If you have to go to the length of selling nude pictures or whatever provocative type of pictures to support yourself, imagine the stigma that's going to be attached to you. Like, even with the angel, for example, where everybody has said, oh, why she gonna put herself on OnlyFans and she already have a career making enough money for herself?
She's making money.
She has a clothing store in her. I'm sure I said that must have make money just because it's the angel. So, and plus, she'll always be known as one of Beanie Man's baby mother. And we know
she's royalty in dancehall. So.
Yeah. So I'm kind of iffy about like the points I made earlier about everybody paying for themselves, because suppose you as a girl you meet a guy who also has a career going, and then for some reason he just lose his job. Like I lived that example before where I met somebody who was working while I was working, and because of a death in the family, he went through depression, kind of wasn't performing up to standard at his job anymore, and they let him go because of that. Like, they let him have time off to grieve, and then when he came back to work, they actually said they were going to fire him because they don't think he's still performing up to the usual. And it ended up that I had to now take care of things on my own. So I was providing for this person financially. And I didn't have a problem with that because I knew he had like some
good man.
Yeah, I mean you have to support your partner when it comes down to that.
Yeah, but you guys are making it seem, well, not making it seem, you guys have mentioned the good. And you mentioned the bad, but you also have to highlight the good them. You can't just say, only.
Let finish your point.
Yes, sorry, Danny.
First.
Yes, I was saying if there's not a lot of people out there who would do what I did. And then I think at one point, I know a couple who is married. At one point, the husband lost his job and was like on the couch for some months. And that actually broke up the marriage because he just became so unmotivated. Never want apply anywhere else. Didn't have any skill to fall back on. Didn't look after the children at all. And just leave everything up to the wife, and that caused them to get a divorce. So, in terms of like the perspective of keeping family together, it's kind of tricky. You don't know what will happen next. You don't know what the future holds. And then you have those that bounce back when they realize them lose everything. You can't stay alone forever. And then what do you do in that situation? Do you get back with the person or what? Because you don't know, there are some habits.
What you mean after they lost their job or after the divorce?
After they bounce back, I think.
Yeah, after they bounce back.
No, when they bounce back, what state are they in? Are you still married or what?
No, I'm talking about for those couples that break up, like either them get separated or they just divorce, and then the person who wasn't performing up to standard bounces back. Do you get back with the ex?
No, I wouldn't recommend that.
No.
What a lot of people don't. Well, I'm not saying why I don't agree with it. I know you guys have your own point, but the reason why I would not agree with it is that testament to the fact that people don't listen or pay attention to the vows themselves seriously. Now, personally, I'm not married. Hope to be one day, but if I am going to be married to somebody, I need to take those words very, very seriously.
Words are words, yes.
They're not just words. This is basically a contract that you're making with this person. That for good or ill, you will be there for each other, whether male or female. That's the point of the vows. So if it comes to a point where you realize that you're in a relationship, it is very easy. It's very easy to say, I love this person when the sun is shining, money is there, kids are doing great, all that wonderful stuff. It's very easy. The true test of that is when literally, as someone loves to say, shit hits the fan. When if the worst can happen, it will. Murphy's Law. If you cannot, and that's a funny thing. It's at these times that you should actually cling to each other even tighter.
Yeah.
I've mentioned it before. If you're lucky enough to have married when you're like 20 or in your early 20s, you may have maybe 10, maybe 20 years of okay to all right and probably maybe good sex. After that period, when you reach your 40s now, you're going to have to deal with your kids growing up, your parents reaching of a certain elderly age where you have to take care of them in their autumn years as they reach that point in their life. That's a highly stressful situation. Marriages that can survive that kind of situation, they blossom. Because at the end of the day, you both want to live long enough to enjoy retirement with each other. You can literally sit down on your veranda, maybe you're upstairs, gazebo or porch or wherever. Because the only thing you'll end up doing with that person is just talking a lot of shit. Sorry, the explicit, but doesn't really matter. That's literally what you're gonna do. You won't have any kids to deal with. You won't have any bills to deal with. You're in retirement. You're literally gonna have someone who you can sit down and talk to. If you can't survive hardship with this person, it makes no sense, in my opinion, for you to conjoin back together. Because you're only going to conjoin when things are nice, things are good.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. It's
then
convenient more than anything else.
Maybe we should use him as a marriage counselor.
No, I have a point, but let me talk.
I think it's even worse when kids are involved because it's kind of traumatizing. Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It would be traumatizing to the kids to see them break up like that and then they get back together and it's toxic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. You know the funny thing? People underestimate how intuitive children are. You don't have to worry about a child's IQ. What you should watch is their EQ. The kids are very capable of detecting emotional shifts and changes. They know when somebody doesn't like them. They know when somebody's hurt. They know when somebody's happy, somebody's sad, worried. Their minds are very, very fine-tuned in picking up certain emotions. So even if you're nice, bright, you smile all around them, blah, 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 they can sense that there's something wrong in the marriage.
All right. I hear your points, but there's something that's coming up in my mind. Ideally, what? Ideally, that better, the puppy start up. Ideally, that better, together for better or worse, you're going to stick to each other, hey, no matter how bad things get. We can say that, yeah, we're going to get through this, we're going to be there for each other. But when reality sinks in, it's not that easy, especially, all right, just taking it from a phase. All right, the husband not working, right?
I'm a bit worried
You have
though.
children. Hold on. You have
Oh, no.
children there that you need to send to school. Bills have to pay. Food have to dinner at the house, and everything are going wrong in a 2020 so far, right? Right. So you're the person that is managing it all. And yeah, you might say, yes, yeah, hold on your man for the time being because he might go through a rough patch. But can you imagine how much stress that is on the one person? Cause now
I don't want to cut you, but
Yeah, I can
before I
imagine.
continue.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember what I mentioned before. It is usually seen as the role for the male to ensure that financially the family is okay. Now, I'm not going to dictate that should be the case for all relationships, but it is more, it has come to my mind, I realize, especially this year, that society is more understanding towards females who have to maintain their males for a short period of time as against males who have to do it probably for the rest of their lifetime.
Because you find out those men are
Let him
rare.
finish. Let him finish.
I'm just,
Let him finish.
Okay.
The reason why I'm mentioning this is that, again, they're going to look at the male and say that they're not going to realize that he's probably suffering or under stress like the female would be. They're thinking that he's a man, he should be able to take care of himself, should handle everything, he should have everything going nice and smooth. He's fine. That's his role. The female, no, as I said, has more understanding. And because of that understanding, it allows for a bit, in my opinion, a bit of complacency and laziness. Because if you truly, let's get really deep. If you truly care about this person, it means that you took the time to hopefully know about this person. Meaning that you're not holding him out just because of the circumstance. You're holding him out because you genuinely care and understand who this person is. That debate doesn't happen with the male. He's just supposed to hold down everything. The female, they look at the female like, oh my God, you have to manage all the kids and all the finances by yourself. Oh my God.
All right, but you're talking like a nuclear setting. But you don't forget, you have some males that just get up and go about their business. Males have the how do I say?
No, you're
about-
drifting from the point.
What?
He's
We're not
talking
talking
about
about
is when a man and a woman is in a relationship or married,
Serious.
right?
Okay, yeah,
And they
they're
have a
married.
family or
Okay,
they're
you're
by
talking
themselves,
those nuclear
and
settings.
and the husband is no longer working for a period of time, and the female has to take everything on her head, right? Now, in all honesty, for a situation like that, I believe that the guy should be the host husband, still try to find a job and be the host husband, while the wife manage for the time period, right?
Mm-hmm. True.
Right, but in those situations, when the woman is being the breadwinner and the guy is at home, he's looked down upon, and he's seen as basically, it doesn't matter the situation. The minute he's home and she's working, he's either a croft or a waste man. No matter the situation, he's perceived as that by the
The
society.
reason why they say who wears the pants in the relationship.
Exactly. Right? Now, if it's the guy that's the breadwinner and the woman is staying at home, that is normal in society. Nobody cares if the guy is stressed or if there's a lot of things on the guy's head. This argument doesn't come up when the guy is a breadwinner. It only ever comes up when a woman is a breadwinner. And
You understand that?
and
Yeah, I understand that.
I'm not saying if it's fair or not. I mean, society
So is it a case that
as
the woman lost her job and the man is now the breadwinner, or is it just that him no said she never did work and then get together? And was this discussed before? That's what I'm trying to say. Was it discussed
Okay.
before?
In the ideal situation that I'm thinking about, it would be the former, where you have a case where the female and the male are working, and it's the female, for example, that probably loses her job, or she's in between markets, so she's not really settling as yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
The financial weight itself, as I said, is expected to be carried by the male.
Mm-hmm.
The problem I'm saying there is that societally, from a viewpoint, it is expected for the male to not only manage his financial strain, but to not complain about it and or not to be stressed about it.
No, in a case like that, it will be a bit unfair. It's unfair for the male in a case
That's what
like
I'm
that.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It is unfair. Because whether you like it or not, even though males don't, we don't portray ourselves as emotionally expressive as females, we still go through the same nuances as it relates to stress, being overwhelmed, depressed. We suffer all of these things. But it's basically say, you're a man, suck it up.
I personally don't like the whole patriarchal structure where the male should be the breadwinner. I think both
work.
husband and wife should pitch in equally.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about that I realized, this is just my observation growing up, you'd think that this is actually pushed from father to son. It's not. A good portion of this is pushed from
The mother.
mother to son.
Yeah.
So if the mother's saying, the mother basically saying, when you get older, I want to be taken care of. I'm like, that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of unnecessary pressure. And they grow up with that rationale going forward. All right, my family, I must hold on everything. I must maintain everything. I must, I must have everything together.
So I've seen mothers told their sons, right, if you're there with a woman and you don't have nothing for her, not there with her. And she doesn't mean emotional support or
monetary.
Yeah.
She mean monetary support.
Yeah.
If you don't have money for give the woman, not there with her, don't waste our time.
No,
and
mothers
this
have told their sons.
and I'm not talking about like bad mothers, I'm talking about good mothers. Person we perceive as really good mothers telling their son don't do without woman if they can't mind him.
And then you have to wonder what was her. You have to wonder what is.
No, I'm saying it's contradictory there because you will never hear somebody say to a female, if you have no money to offer him, don't deal with it.
Yeah.
But you make you wonder what is the root motivation for her to say something like that.
Well, what's the phrase? She who rocks the cradle rules the world.
Could it be the meaning?
I'm putting some blame on absentee fathers and the mothers that are left behind. And I'm not really blaming either group. I'm just saying they have a part in the actual societal. Because again, I've said it already. If you have a young man who decides that he's going to stay within the family home to save an expense, he's seen upon as a waste of space and a crop. That's just it. If you look at a female doing that exact same thing, she's mentioned as being intelligent, smart, she's being frugal, she's being very, she's saving her money forward for her own future, and yada yada. She's being independent when she's ready. That kind of. So it's coming from a lot of places, is what I'm saying. But it's a view that is just wrong. It's not right because you're neglecting one group over and over again, and it doesn't seem to be changing. Which is why I mentioned the whole example about the date thing. You are not going to go on a date with a guy and expect that he won't pay for things. I'm not saying you do it. I'm not saying a lot of females literally go with this expectation, even though they're the ones who said, "Come on, let's go. I know this is a nice place." And then like, guys like, "All right, no problem." Goes there, the bills. She sits back. He's supposed to pay the bills. He's supposed to bring her home. That's just that thing.
I have to interject with a little story that I'd like your opinions on. There's another couple I know who live in Canada where the woman works from home and the man works for a company. I don't remember what exactly the company is about, but he was very versed in his position, like one of the best in his field. So one day a coworker comes to him and is like, the company advertise your position, right? So he's like, what do you mean by that?
Wow.
They are actively seeking somebody to replace you while you're still working here. So he must say nothing to nobody until the day came when they actually tell him, say, "Oh, we're going to fire you." So what he had to do was start his own thing, doing the same thing that he did at the company, but he would be the head of the business and employ people under him to help out. And he's not making a lot of money from it because the company is pretty well known and is a big competitor. So, businesses usually go to them instead of the little man. Because the little man will charge more because they're independent.
Yeah.
So, when they came to Jamaica one year, we noticed that the wife had to be paying for a lot of things. So we went out twice. We went to the theaters for one. And all the snacks that we ate there, the wife bought it. And then for another time we went to a fish place on Back Road. The wife paid for it again. She said nothing about this, so I assumed everything was fine. I thought, he probably left his wallet at home, so it's no big deal. And they probably did this all the time anyway, because that's why they were in Jamaica, so no big deal. Later on, I come to find out that the wife was not too pleased, and she doesn't like the fact that he doesn't work for somebody, and she thinks he should reapply for a job either at the same company or somewhere else. But he's not into that because he's quite comfortable where he is now. So my question to you guys now is, with that if you are in that position where the strain is on the wife and the wife is, they're constantly fighting over this thing. So clearly the marriage is straining. Coming from a position where I think both husband and wife should take responsibility, I don't see why she is complaining, because when he was in a job, he was the breadwinner. She didn't have to spend a dime. So why does she have such a problem now? What would you guys do if you found yourself in such a position?
Who are you referring to?
I don't know.
I think that's for the male, but I probably think Elle can probably answer that as well.
Yeah.
But for me, if I literally had a wife like that, I really have to start questioning her deeply. Because I'm already in a position where I'm in control of my own work ethic, my own work environment. I'm already in a position where I can develop my company, and I'm very good at this, at what I do. So I find it contradictory that it hurts her to have to take up the tab once in a while. I'm guessing that it's not like he's broke. He's just not making the same amount of money that he used to.
Yeah, he's not broke, but he's not making a lot.
Yeah, but he's making some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, help contribute, so
I
it shouldn't be a problem.
I would be deeply offended. Because that's probably worse than thinking that the money is worthless. She basically look at her husband as a waste of space and do.
Yeah, if he's contributing, it shouldn't be a problem.
Because what's happening with her is that because she used to a certain lifestyle, she's no longer living that lifestyle, and that's an issue with a lot of females. Once they get used to a certain lifestyle, they can't go back, or they refuse to go back, and if they have to go back, they rather leave and find something better.
But if the facts they can come out to Jamaica and spend money, means them probably them not suffer.
What they should do is they should probably cut back and their spending, think they're not making as much money, but she probably doesn't want to do that.
And gone all over the place and whatever. You have to look at where your income is. You also income and plan your budget and sit down and talk about it. You not make as much money, but probably still good enough money when you can sit down and say...
And fly, come out to Jamaica and buy snacks and fish plates.
Who pay for them ticket there?
I have no idea, probably she.
And she alone. And she alone cover for everything.
Because they come out here quite often enough.
Same thing.
So no, probably and she cover everything. But maybe because she go out and go buy the food the one time and she feel like it's a way out of it's a done for money. He probably should
reconsider. He should probably question, not reconsider their marriage, but question her mindset and where she's coming from.
Or sit down and talk and whatever. Sit down and talk, and if you realize it now, work out. So if you say it. Because at that point, you just go stress out.
What would you do in these circumstances? So I'm not kidding. The way that talk through this up in the night, I'm kind of worried right now.
Why?
What would happen if I'm without a job for like 6 months to a year? What would happen?
All right, first of all, you know, I want to refer to you as a waste man.
All right, so let me ask.
Want her to ask it again?
No, he's asking a question. There was a question that came up.
So based on what you're saying throughout the night, right? I'm a bit worried. What will happen if I lost my job for 6 months to a year? What will happen?
Not like that rough. Because... no, if it's a short period, you know, fine. 6 months to a year. Not saying that I love you any less, but that is a lot to cover. Because right now we're barely surviving both our incomes, right?
Really?
We're comfortable. If one of us should not get paid, for how long? For 6 months period, it's going to affect us. And a 6 months it's a number one, so.
Alright, let me. She's probably gonna cause some trouble, but I need to ask anyway. I'm gonna escalate the question.
What? Sorry?
What if for medical reasons you were going to work indefinitely?
Damn, that's tough. I couldn't leave him. In medical reasons, it's not like I'll leave him. That's why it's good to have health insurance. In cases like that, would have to find a lot of GoFundMe and support at that point. Honestly, I can't tell him about that one. For medical reasons, you can't leave him. I want to leave him alone and kick him out and make him up on the road. That'll be too rough. And I'm not that heartless.
But my impression is for however the vows go, it's supposed to
In fitness and in health.
Yeah.
For better or worse, in sickness and in health.
We're talking about the worst.
Worst case scenario, not leaving
Because
him.
if you leave, then that means you're similar to the same wife that I just described.
Yes, so that's why I said I wouldn't leave.
Yes.
No, not wish yet. The
Time
sickness
of that
one,
road.
no. The sickness one wouldn't leave. You can't leave somebody when they're sick. We're going to kick you out and left you for dead.
Oh,
no.
so what's that work?
So what about the first? No, wait.
The
I get that
first
6 months
one,
to a year.
6.
No, I
No.
need to get this. You said 6 months to a year. So let's say
That's the not
more than a
working
year.
one. There must be a good reason. A very good reason why you're not working for 6 months to a year, right?
A global pandemic starts and nobody's hiring because I lost my job and nobody is hiring.
Exactly. There's literally no jobs at all.
And there's no way to like also that. What will you be doing in that 6 months to a year?
I mean, I know.
Maybe no. As in, what would you be doing? What would be your
We
contribution?
don't know.
Eh? No.
I would gladly be the host husband.
House husband, but take care of everything, man. Like, mind and take care of the house, take care of the picnic there, man. So on.
Like what I do right now.
Okay. So
He's gonna settle in. So
okay, can I afford for the two of us?
Hmm?
Could I afford to manage a household with my pay?
The woman, we both know that you can. We both know what it takes to manage this household. You don't need to ask a question.
As long as there's money isn't an issue, then there shouldn't be an issue. You're a house husband.
Are
I
you
have
saying
enough
are
money
you
to-
saying
I
this
have
because we're on the
enough-
podcast?
No, I'm saying if you can be a house husband and there's enough money to cover everything, there shouldn't be a problem.
not
The
enough
problem is when the money is short and everybody has suffer.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I start know that I'll start probably having a breakdown, concern and worry and all that kind of thing there. And then that's when it becomes strain because I'm like worrying, what are we going to survive? What we're going to eat?
Mikhail,
What are the kids going to eat?
hearing.
can we use this recording as proof of what she said?
So
Ca- ca-
you're
I will
gonna-
save it for you, my brother.
I need to pull this shit up
I
in
will-
certain conversation
I will
comes up.
just saying.
I will save this for you, my brother. Trust me, I got you.
I'm just saying. If this,
Because I'm worried.
because I'm just saying, what am I saying is wrong? I'm just saying that if there's enough money, then fine, there's nothing wrong. My problem is when the money start run short and we're in a problem.
Alright, in all
that-
fairness, for the
mm.
record, Fisher's answer. Well, it's a question, I should say. Leo,
Yeah.
same question.
If she was unable to work for 6 months to a year,
Or more.
mine or mine the host. What else me gonna do?
Or if the money is short.
If the money is short, then me find a way to build it up. If I have to hustle on the side to build it up, so be it.
or just bring your level of living lower. The much
Yeah.
money you have.
Exactly. One out of the
Yeah,
two.
because from experience, once you work, you can survive. Because I've lived without money and I was literally homeless. So if you work, you're supposed to can provide for you and somebody else.
You know, it'd be funny though. It'd be like the people who have like 12 kids. And they somehow.
I am wondering how they
No,
I am wondering.
No, the point I'm making. Hold on. The point I'm making is that it's not like they can look on the child and say, you know, I'm going to drop one of these children. I'm going to send one your way. You know? They don't do that shit.
Some do.
The 12 stays.
Some do. Some of them ship got them father or ship got some auntie. They not necessarily keep all 12.
So we have an option. We can ship one of you to a family member then.
If you have how much? So that's again?
We can probably ship one of you guys to a temporary family member. So if somehow Elno can't bring her money into the equation now, I'm not saying we sell her. I'm saying we send her to a family member who will be more useful to her, so she'll be a at-home maid or wife if need be. What do you think about that, Leah?
Maybe a personal assistant, not a maid.
Not a maid. My bad. Personal assistant.
I'm not demeaning maid, you know, right? There's nothing wrong with being a maid. I'm just saying I don't think she could manage being a maid.
Oh,
I
gosh,
understand why you say that.
oh gosh, that's on I'm into
What about being a nanny?
Oh, yeah, nanny.
That too.
Yeah.
Go to school.
That works good.
Yeah.
Well, we're saying that there's a global shortage of jobs, so that could even work either way.
Yo, if we need to find a plot of land and farm for feed the family, we can do that.
If we have a farm, you're good. And you just farm the land, no problem. As long as there's food.
And we farm the land. We farm the land.
As long as there is food, I am good. As long as the fridge full of food, I am good. And your bills are paid. Okay?
There might not be no Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You can't live without internet.
Fridge full of food and bills. That's all.
And we might have to go to the river for catch water.
River water nice enough?
Oh,
As long as you don't pee and do nothing.
I'm glad you're optimistic.
I just the only thing is
I'm
when
glad
you
you-
about that carry it.
I'm glad you're optimistic.
That's the
I'm
only
very
thing.
glad that you're so optimistic.
Well, if I live near a river, is it a river everybody go?
So
Depend.
You want a personal river for yourself?
Yeah, I want a person.
if we can own a personal river, we can afford. Speaking of,
Not a river. If you guys are thinking about what I'm thinking about, that's more of a stream than a river.
Yeah, a nice personal. I don't know what people do.
Unless you support the land to lead some of the water into your land.
Your section, but you know, so when you did on the bottom, you always have people at the top, but they just carry down all them germs and.
I mean,
be careful
if
when
we
you
have
down
our
the
own,
bottom of the river.
if we have our own personal river, then we can save pan like we can just put like a water mill right there and just generate our own electricity from that.
Ooh.
So we can just save money pan light, water and light like that.
We can get Wi-Fi with leftover money.
You can get Wi-Fi with leftover money. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have the farm for eat.
Yeah, we're pretty much good.
Yeah, man. Alright, so we have a contingency plan there.
Okay.
As long as you guys work together, you'll be fine.
Okay. So we can go Portland now.
Yeah. As long as when I have 8 or 10 pitney. Well, I'm not looking down on anybody with that. I mean, it's sticky. I mean, I lie. Personal, again, you can't use our own life to say it. But personally, if I see myself a tree and a different baby father, at one point we have to cut off, stop at one point. I know. But anyway, cut that out.
Wait, so are you saying that monetary wise, it's you and the baby father
Where?
pooling all the funds, or am I interpreting that wrong?
Sorry, just because you mentioned something about 12 baby picnic, we just remember.
I mentioned that because, again, you realize that finances is a big reason why people get divorced.
Yeah.
And so they separate from each other. Just that when you have like 12 kids, I don't see them separating from the children. Well, unless you count the absentee father, which is supposed to know that that's not even needed to be counted as a statistic. But it's not helping the little son and say, oh, you know, so I'm going to have to cut with you now, we can't afford to feed you. And just send them away. No.